We're here in the Israeli town of Sderot, where behind us you can see northern Gaza, and right over there is the town of Bet Hanun. There's been a lot of fighting there, a lot of IDF activity, and Yoni, we've been here for about just over an hour now, and we've actually seen about 2 explosions behind us in Beit Hanun, which we weren't expecting that when we arrived.
Well, all the public messaging out of the Israeli Defense Force is that, well, the fighting has stopped, and it's stopped because there is a deal that's being worked out between various diplomatic parties in Egypt. And so, yes, the last thing we were expecting to see were explosions of any kind. Having said that, we don't know what caused those explosions. They might have been unexploded ordnance, for example, or some minor skirmishing that may go unreported in different pockets of Gaza. But yes, that's not what we expected to see. There is a fire burning behind us. You might be able to see a large amount of smoke. That doesn't appear to be combat related. That looks to be just a fire of some kind.
It did certainly sound like artillery. We heard those thuds, those booms, and saw these large puffs of smoke.
And we were expecting to come here today, were we not, Liam, and seeing absolutely nothing. Because as we know, as part of the deal that's being worked out in Egypt, Israeli Defense Forces are not supposed to be operating at the moment, and the government has allegedly called a ceasefire of some kind. Now, the likelihood of us finding out what actually occurred and what those explosions were, it's pretty low at the moment, although we can assume some possibilities. One is that the IDF is still operating in there. Another possibility is there's a lot of unexploded ordnance in Gaza that's just lying around, and from time to time it might go off, either through civilian interactions with it or the army safely trying to dispose of it. There is, of course, a third option, which is that there is some pockets of fighting that is continuing, and that might have been what we've seen.
Yoni, obviously this deal, it's been in the making. The people that we've spoken to, and there's a lot of people in Tel Aviv, they're saying that, they're quietly optimistic that this could bring the end to the war, right? A
lot of cautious optimism that this could actually go ahead. There are a couple of sticking points that everyone's deeply worried about. First among them is the fact that Hamas needs to put down its weapons. And that's always been a sticking point in all of the negotiations. The second is Hamas wants to know, well, how far back is the Israeli Defense Forces going to pull back its artillery, its men? How far back is that going to go, and are they going to actually pull out of Gaza entirely? And then, of course, above all, the handback of the hostages. Now, how is that going to be carried out, and how expeditiously are they going to be brought back to Israel? And that is what everyone is talking about in Israel at the moment. The most anticipation is whether a deal can be sealed in order to bring them home, and we should know more in the next few days.
Interestingly, one of the reasons that it's been pushed that this has been happening is because of Israel's attack in Qatar on Hamas leaders. Why is this being credited as, one of the reasons why this deal might be happening?
Well, I think the attack that occurred in Doha not so long ago really sent a shockwave through the Arab world, in that it told them that this is what regional escalation looks like. This is what can happen if the war doesn't end, and if the IDF and Israeli intelligence take steps to try and eliminate Hamas leaders who are hiding outside of Gaza itself and who are being housed in areas like Doha. I think that might have presented an opportunity to the Trump administration, to the Netanyahu administration, and to Arab leaders as well, to really refocus their efforts to try and stop the war. And what we have at the moment is a series of negotiations where no one's completely happy with what the Americans are proposing, this 20-point plan of Donald Trump's, nor do they want to be the first one to step in to say, we're out, we're not doing it either. So everyone's sitting at the table, publicly saying they're supporting what's going on, but it would appear as though not everyone's happy. And you can imagine Donald Trump and what he'd say about this, which is that, well, a good deal is one where no one's really fully happy, are they? So that's what we're looking at the moment.